All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is September 7th. We have a smaller than usual MLB slate, just 6 games on this fine Thursday. But like always, we're going to go through each and every game. I'm going to give my lean or leans on the games. But all of my final plays, so what I'm actually rolling with myself, those will be in the pinned comment. If you do want to fade me, shout out to the merch. Last night we go 2 and 3, making that 2 days in the red in a row. You don't love to see it. The Phillies come through for us, and then Tristan Casas in his last at-bat has a nice little single to right field. But other than that, the Brewers, the Blue Jays, and the Dodgers all literally let us down so badly. The Blue Jays team, I don't know what happened there. The Dodgers, I really don't know what happened there. Like, it's like they're playing with Nerf bats and every other team is playing with wooden bats right now. And the Brewers obviously blow that one. So a 2 and 3 night isn't getting the job done. Don't love to see that. I love the fact that we had a bunch of day games yesterday. Like the Brewers and Blue Jays had already finished, and we had some comments being like, some bad takes in this video. I'm pretty sure you're going to have a bad day. And I'm like, yeah, buddy, I am. Why don't you show up before the game start if you're going to hate, okay, Guppy? But it is all good. Best way to shut up the Guppies is to have good performing nights, which we haven't done 2 days in a row, so I can't really talk right now. But guys, our ride of the day does come through. Shout out to Spencer. He had the over in the Orioles in the Angels game, and the Orioles obviously carry the weight there and just do it themselves. So shout out to Spencer for this ride of the day. If you want to be the ride of the day, all you got to use is hashtag ride of the day, and I'll jump on board with one person's pick, and then you guys get a shout out in the next video, win or loss. So use that hashtag. That's the only thing I'm looking for when it comes to a potential shout out for the next video here. And he says he's super excited for the NFL season, so why don't we talk about that for just a second here, guys. We got plenty of content coming. We're gonna have a special video for Thursday Night Football, which is live right now. Make sure to go check that out. Thursday Night Football, I give a game pick as well as 2 player props and a couple other cool things in the video. That is live, but throughout the season, we're gonna have a Thursday Night Football video. We'll have a NFL, regular Sunday slate video. We'll have a Sunday night football video, and then we'll have a Monday night football video. We might do a player prop specific video throughout the week too, all while having MLB going, and all while having our college football videos going, all while having, which I haven't even mentioned, the head-to-head video that we have, which is me and another guy from the staff at Guy Boston here, Tassos. We're gonna go head-to-head in our picks. It's gonna be really cool, guys, so make sure to go check out all the videos that we do have out right now, and I kind of just gave you a rundown of what is to come. Tons of videos. I think me personally, I said it yesterday, I think me personally, which some people are going to be happy about, some people are going to be like, oh my god, more of this annoying guy. I think I'm doing 15 or 16 personal videos a week. You can't say I'm not grinding for you guys, right? But let's go ahead and jump into game number 1 here. We have Miami taking on the Dodgers. Obviously, the Dodgers get smoked yesterday. Miami wins that one 11-4. Felt like it was just never close here. On the mound today for the Dodgers is Ryan Pepoit, or Pepois. Don't know how to say his name. Coming back to the rotation after, if you don't know what happened to Julio Urias, Google Julio Urias, but he is now arrested. So they have this young kid coming back into the rotation. He's only made 1 start this season, I believe, going up against Braxton Garrett, who has been fairly good. Pitched against the Dodgers just about a month or half of a month ago. Call it 3 weeks. 6 innings pitched there. Let up 5 hits, 3 earned runs. I'm gonna be crazy here. I'm leaning towards the Dodgers. They've looked terrible, and Miami's looked really good. So if someone's on Miami and you're like, this is a stupid pick, fine, you can fade me, okay? But I think the Dodgers at least pull one out here, and you just can't assume that Miami's gonna do what they just did again. The bats have been hot for them. I'll give them credit there, but this Dodgers team still, from batter 1 to batter 9, I would take over Miami. So I'm hoping for the fact that the Dodgers finally say, okay, you know what? Deep breath. We've had a rough week, right? Like they're only 7 days removed from that Atlanta series, in which they really haven't looked the same since. Before that, they were dropping 7 runs, 9 runs, 7 runs a game. With that Boston series, Arizona series. Then they head into Atlanta. They have 1 good game there, and then they end up losing that series 1-3. And it's almost like they're like shell shocked from that. You got to imagine they remove themselves from that. So I'm going to lean towards the Dodgers here on the money line at -124. Again, we're talking about this Ryan kid, the pitcher. I think he's only 25, 26 years old. In his only start so far that we have on record here of the season, he went 5 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 2 hits. So the guy has some sort of juice, right? We'll give him credit there. Braxton Garrett, I think obviously Miami has the pitching matchup, but just season long, I'm going to look at this spot for the Dodgers and say, okay, you know what? They truly are the better team, or at least the team that can put up a bunch of runs. I don't think Miami, what they're doing on offense is sustainable, so I'm kind of fading that. But again, guys, if you like Miami, if you're fading the Dodgers because they've stunk out loud, I'm all for it. Go for it. It's similar to what we saw with Seattle, right? I just kept hammering Seattle. They lost us some coin. So give me the Dodgers in this one. Feel free to fade. And in terms of the total 8.5, I guess, if this is kind of a safety net type of a lean here too, I guess I lean towards the over, because if the Dodgers are going to go out there and stink and Miami's going to go out there and continue to score a bunch of runs, then that looks good for an over, right? Like if the trend continues. But if what I'm saying and how I think this game is going to go and the Dodgers bats just get a little bit warmer, then all of a sudden we see plenty of runs on both sides, you'd think. So give me the over 8.5 as well in this spot. All right, guys, before we get to the rest of this slate, I know we're only one game in and I'm doing some sort of a promo, but we only have 6 games to do it. But I want to talk to you guys about Sleeper. If you are not on the Sleeper Picks app yet, I seriously think you're sleeping. You are missing out. This is one of my favorite DFS pick'em apps. And reason being is because they don't just follow the normal payout structure. Each and every play has its own multiplier. So you know how on Prize Picks, if you put 2 players in and win that, you 3x your money, right? Well, on Sleeper, you could technically put 2 players in and 4x and 5x depending on the picks that you select, and they're giving you a freebie right here. Christian McCaffrey, will he rush for 1 yard in game 1 of the season here for him? I think so. The dude's pretty good. So if you use the link in the description or the pinned comment, I'll put it there for ease as well. And you can also just use code GUYBOSSON when signing up. You're going to get 100% of your first deposit matched. No brainer. You throw in $50, they'll give you 50. A new count balance of 100. You'll get the deposit match, right? You also get this free promo square here, and you could pair that or add it into whatever slip you want, and it's a freebie, guys. Do not miss out. Go ahead and check out Sleeper. Again, that link is in the description as well as the pinned comment. And we do have another freebie that I do want to talk to you guys about as well. Yes, we're talking about 2 different player prop promo or player prop pick'em apps, but Prize Picks also has a freebie for Dak Prescott. So I figured I'd show both of you guys. I would encourage you guys to sign up for both. These pick'em apps are super, super fun. You're going to get the deposit match with Prize Picks as well, and you get this Dak Prescott swear. So everything I said about Sleeper in terms of how fun it is, same thing for Prize Picks. I do like the fact that Sleeper has the dynamic payouts, but I like the fact that in Prize Picks, you can have some flex plays, so you don't have to hit every single pick correctly, and your slip is toast, right? If you don't, no, you can go 4 for 5 and still cash. So both of these apps have their own benefits. If you're not on either one of them, consider checking at least one of them out today. I'm on both these. If you're watching me on TikTok at EvPicks 3.0 or on Twitter at EvGuyBoston, I'm following everyone back right now that follows me. You'll see that I'm posting tons of Prize Picks, tons of Sleeper content as of late, because I just have an absolute blast on those apps. But let's go ahead and return to the slate here. Game number 2. We are looking at the Seattle Mariners taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, I kind of chuckle as I say this because we banned the Mariners for the rest of the season just a couple nights back. And of course, once we do that, they go out there and beat the Reds. Like, we knew that was coming. I believe I even said it in yesterday's video. But I like this spot for the Rays today, guys. Not just because I'm banning the Mariners, but because you can get some value here on the Rays. Minus 115 over on Caesars right now. They're minus 115. Plus 115 over on Caesars right now. They're plus 110 on MGM, plus 110 on DraftKings, and plus 108 on FanDuel. So there's a little bit of value in looking at them on Caesars, and they're coming off of a pretty good series against the Red Sox here. Definitely a better series than Seattle just had, where they lose 2 of 3 in their last couple series here, right? So give me Tampa Bay. Luis Castillo is on the mound for Seattle. Don't love that, but he had a bad outing last time out. 5 innings pitched, hits were 8, 5 earned runs, 2 home runs let up to the Mets. So let's keep that in the back of our head here, that he's coming off of a rough start. Littell's coming off of a couple rough starts too, which is unfortunate for us on this side of things. But I think this is going to come down to an offensive type of a game here, which the offenses really just aren't matched right now. Both these pitchers are righties. Tampa Bay batting over 260 against righties in their last 10 and 6 runs per 9 at that clip. I really just can't fade them with an on-base percentage of .340. None of Seattle's numbers really even compared to that from the offensive side of things. So I do think this is going to be a high-scoring game, even with 2 quality pitchers on the mound. So I'm going to lean towards the over 7.5. Yes, I'm accounting for Seattle to at least score some runs, not have a bad series like they did against the Reds. I like the over 7.5, but I also really do like the value of Tampa Bay on the money line, guys. Let me know what you guys think of that play in the comments. Am I just fading a team that I banned? Or does Tampa Bay have a chance here? Because I do think that, yes, they lose the pitching matchup, but I think after everything else, I feel like that is kind of where Tampa Bay comes in and looks better. Like, their bullpen's better. I'm hoping that their offense looks better, right? They definitely can have more of an explosive offense if plenty of those guys step up. Obviously, both these teams have a good offense, which is why I'm leaning towards the over as well. But yeah, we're leaning towards the over 7.5 here, as well as the Tampa Bay Rays on the money line. All right, Yankees taking on the Tigers. We did kind of lean this way yesterday. We didn't make it a final play, so I can't take any credit. But I said this Tigers team would probably lose, but they'd cover their run line. They did just that. They lose 4-3 here. Now on the mound for the Yankees is going to be Carlos Rodon. He's actually been okay as of late. He has a couple throwout starts, but in his last 3 here, which have been 3 decent starts, the 2.87 ERA and 1.02 whip. But he's going to go up against Eduardo Rodriguez, who the numbers as of late don't look that crazy. He's kind of good start, bad start, good start, bad start. But I do like him in a spot against the Yankees. He's had some success against them this season or in the past, not this season yet. But I do think that this is a good spot. The Tigers and the Yankees have seemingly been somewhat evenly matched, this year. Not that the win-loss would tell you that same sort of story here, but these games have been fairly close. 4-3, 4-3, 4-2, 5-4, that type of thing. So I do expect, this to be a close game. And if you can get the Tigers again for +1.5, I don't think it's all that bad of a move. So I'm going to lean towards the Tigers on the run line with Erod on the mound. I don't really believe all that much in Rodon. And you're looking at the Yankees right now on FanDuel at -165. Like, I don't really want to consider that. So, though I don't love betting on the Tigers, I do think Erod is a quality pitcher, and you can get them to, kind of keep this game close and still cash that run line, even if they do lose. And then in terms of a total 8.5, this one I've gone back and forth on because these two teams, when they play each other, they barely put up runs. They are 2-7-1 to the over in their last 10 against one another. And even if you just look at what they've done this season, Detroit, 3.94 runs per game, and the Yankees 4.2. I'm no mathematician, but that does not add up to 9 runs, which is what would need to happen to hit this over. So I'm going to lean towards the under 8.5. I know the graphic says 8, little outdated there as we screenshotted that earlier this morning, but give me the under in this game as well. But I definitely lean Detroit +1.5 as well. All right, guys, yes, another quick promo, but you got to trust me that these things are worth hearing on your end. I wouldn't be promoting it if I didn't think these are valuable tools. And I'm talking about OddsJam today, a great tool. Actually, it's a website that has a million different tools to help you beat the books. You get 25% off your first month if you use Guy Boston at checkout. But if you use the link in the description or the pinned comment, you're going to get 7 days free. So you can get 7 days free and sign up using the link Guy Boston. You're going to get a free trial and 25% off your first month. But let me show you what I'm talking about here over on OddsJam. I'm on the sportsbook screen right now. I have it set to the Big Four, but you can compare and contrast all market plays and their lines. But if we wanted to look at all the sportsbooks, yes, it kind of cuts down on the loading time, but you're going to see you can literally compare everything. Obviously, these are only 6 games of the MLB slate today, but you can compare all sportsbook to make sure you're getting the better price. Remember how I talked about, being able to get, the Tampa Bay Rays here over on Caesars at +115 when everything else is -110. Here it is, +115 for Tampa, whereas everyone else is kind of right around the +111 mark, even on the average odds. And we talked about Sleeper and we talked about Prize Picks. They also have a fantasy optimizer tool that is really cool. It shows you the value that you have heading into these DFS pick'em type formatted sites. So guys, make sure to go check out OddsJam. Again, really, really good deal. You can get 25% off your first month month if you use the code GuyBoston at checkout. But if you really want the deal, you can use the link in the description or the pinned comment. I'll put it there too, and you get 7 days free, and you can also use that code when checking out. So make sure to check out OddsJam, guys. Again, short video. I know that I'm plugging a few different things here. We got to keep these lights on, but all these tools and all these platforms that I'm promoting, I either use myself or really think has value to you guys. And actually, now that I even say that out loud, I use all these myself. So I use all of them myself and think that they have value to you guys. Let's go ahead and get to the next game here. We are looking at the Braves taking on St. Louis, which this series, I would argue if someone said they saw this series going this way thus far. So the first game here, we had St. Louis win 10-6. Yesterday, I think I even probably said in yesterday's video, like, no way this happens again. Yeah, it wasn't 10-6. St. Louis won 11-6. And now you have Max Fried on the mound going up against Adam Wainwright. And the Atlanta Braves are completely juiced to the moon at -310. So I'm sitting here like, well, you can't bet the Braves in a revenge spot, right? Even if you look at them on the run line, which is as far as I would get to touching them with a 10-foot pole right now, you're looking at -142. I don't really love that value either. But that is the direction I'm going to lean in. I really don't think, guys. And if you think that that's a possibility, like, oh no, St. Louis can sweep the Braves, then you're the crazy person. If it happens, fine. I'll admit I was wrong, but I sure as shit wasn't crazy for thinking that that was an improbable outcome, right? So I'll take the Braves on the run line today. Total sitting at 10.5. You have to imagine that after you've seen what we've seen now from the Braves and from St. Louis in this series, that there's going to be a lot of runs scored. And Adam Wainwright's on the mound. I have a feeling that the Braves are going to go out there and tag him, as he's really been up and down, not even up and down. He's been down more than he has been up this season. In his last 5 here, he's got a 5 flat ERA. The team is 0-5 when he pitches. Going up against Max Fried, who that could hurt the over or the total, but wouldn't you say that about, going up against Spencer Strider yesterday as well? And all of a sudden, that game results the way it does. So give me the over as well. I think I've seen that at 10 on some sports books. Not sure if they were ones that I am on, but nonetheless, guys, keep an eye on the pin comment to see what we roll with here. I do like the Braves to win this game. You have to kind of consider run line if you like that, as well as the over. But the odds for that run line are going to be tough to swallow. Having to win by 2 runs and still paying -142, I don't know. But keep an eye on the pin comment, guys. Let's move on to the next game. All right, Cubs hosting Arizona. We don't have a total here on the graphic, but just FYI, the total is sitting at 8.5 right now. We do have, obviously, the money line here. Chicago at -180 and Arizona at +158 right now over on Caesars. And this is probably crazy because the Cubs are hot, but I don't think that they're a -180 or beyond type team, so I'm kind of going to fade that there. I don't necessarily love what I'm seeing in terms of odds. I don't want to pay, -184, for example, with Javier Assad on the mound. Even though he's looked good, I just don't trust it altogether. He's going deep into games, but he is so due for a regression night that my gut tells me to just look at Arizona, which is also kind of crazy. I know we've had some lackluster takes in this video because taking Arizona over what you could consider a really hot Chicago team may be kind of crazy right now, but I just think that these offenses are fairly similar. Not necessarily, I'm not trying to take into account that 12-run game for the against the Rockies for Arizona. I'm not putting too much weight into that, but outside of that Rocky series, they're scoring 4 to 5 runs here, whereas Chicago obviously putting up numbers lately, but pitcher and offense both due for regression. So I could be completely off and completely wrong, and they just stay hot, but I just don't really see it happening. So I'm going to take the Arizona Diamondbacks here in terms of a lean for +158. And again, that's 2 parts. I'm trying to predict this regression from the Cubs, but also kind of taking a peek at the fact that I'm not paying that price for the Cubs either way, right? So what am I going to do? Just chalk the game up? No, I'll lean towards Arizona, and hopefully that thought process makes a little sense to you guys. And kind of on that note, 8.5 being the total, I'm also going to take a peek at the under because, again, I think that this offense for the Cubs is going to take at least a slight step back, meaning they're not going to go out there and score 11 or 15 runs like they had done 2 out of their last 4 games. I think it's going to be a little bit low scoring, especially game 1 of a series. And if you want to say Javier Assad isn't going to have regression, then he's going to continue to pitch well, and this is going to be an under that definitely has a chance to hit. The only thing that concerns me is Ryan Nelson on the mound for the Diamondbacks. If you don't know how many runs he's let up in his last, 2-3 starts or so, you can't really count it on your hands. You can, 6 runs in his last 2 starts through 3 innings each. So he's just been bad, but hopefully he can kind of reel it in and pitch okay today, because I do think that Arizona has a chance, as well as the under hitting, which, yeah, may be crazy, but hey, I'm the guy wearing a Fade Me shirt right in front of your face, right? All right, and unfortunately, we don't have any odds or lines for this last game here. It is the late game of the slate. We don't know who's pitching for the Angels yet. We know that Cal Quantrill is going for Cleveland today. He's actually looked better in his last start than he had pretty much all season long, and that was pretty, impressive coming back after not pitching for like a month and then looking decent. They're not starting for a month. Cleveland, in terms of what they've been doing, they lost 2 of 3 against Minnesota. They did take a win yesterday, 2-1. I'm probably going to lean towards Cleveland, but I just can't imagine these odds are going to be all that great. But if they are, I'll take Cleveland on the money line, trusting Cal Quantrill. And I guess we're going to be trusting the offense in their last 10 here, this Cleveland offense. Not looking great, but they're looking just as good, if not a little bit better, than the Angels bats. So give me Cleveland here on the money line. Total, I don't even know what we're going to put this at. Probably, I think 8.5 has been sort of the Angels sweet spot. And then we've seen 8 to, 7.5 for Cleveland in their most recent game. So it'll probably be right around 8. If it's 8.5, I'm actually going to look at the under. If it's 7.5, say, I'll look at the over. So I do think, which shows you that's probably not all that much of a confident play. I do think right around 8 runs scored in this game, but I doubt we do anything with the over regardless of what it is. I kind of want to give you guys a ballpark of what I am thinking. And that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Last thing to do here, if you're still watching, go ahead and comment 20. Let me know that you made it to the end of the video. And if you did, if you made it to the end of the video and you comment 20, you know what? You deserve to hear this. We do have a promo over on the Fade Me store. Just like a couple days ago when you guys crushed that promo, we'll take 20% off your order. All you got to use is the code 20FADE. So 20FADE at checkout. It also works in reverse if you do Fade 20, just because I want to make sure that people, don't miss it or understand it. So 20FADE or Fade 20 at checkout. How many people do you know offer 2 promo codes for the same thing, just for all the people that mix up letters and stuff? I think that I would mess that up, so I'll just do 2 promo codes. But guys, go check out the Fade Me store. Really, really cool stuff over there. The best way to support the channel right now. And hopefully you guys don't mind the fact that, we had 3 promos to get to in this video while only having a 6-game slate. But we got to do our thing, right? At the end of the day, this is a content business. We're trying to grow. We're trying to make better content, meaning we got to make, the right? So head over there, guys. Support what we're doing here. I love each and every one of you guys that tunes in every day. If you're commenting 20 right now, thank you so much. If you tuned out after game number 1 because you thought I was annoying, thank you very much as well. But even the guppies, I love. And the Fade Squad, I love more, right? The real ones, the Fade Squad, the true supporters. But I'll catch you guys in the next video, all right? Peace out.